Hey, you guys, I want to say thank you for tuning into the very first Young Entrepreneurs podcast. I have a lot planned for this podcast, so I'm super excited. The whole brand revamp is crazy. So just stay tuned. Check us out on Instagram at Young Entrepreneurs Brand. Check us out online at www.tyebrand.com. And also for podcast purposes, check us out on the Apple Podcast. It should be called Young Entrepreneurs Podcast or the Young Entrepreneurs Brand Podcast. I don't know yet. I'll know once I upload this to the Apple Podcast. So just stay tuned. Click the link in the bio for more details. But yeah, so I'm going to do this podcast every week. So make sure you tune in. And I started this podcast really just to help spark and start the conversation about bringing entrepreneurs together so we can discuss some thought-provoking, challenging realities that come with being an entrepreneur that isn't always talked about. Because a lot of times people will hold their secrets of what they did to start their business, which is crazy to me. Like, how can you withhold information? My mom, she wanted to start like an after-school program. And so she went to one of the ladies and who had a program inside the school that she was doing Girl Scouts in. She was like, hey, how did you get started with, getting into the school system and, having your own after school program? And the lady flat out told her, you're my competition if you were to get involved. So I can't tell you. That's basically what she said. So I'm like, that is crazy. Your own people to be out for you sometime. And so we withhold some of the most positive, most powerful, money making, just thought provoking, just some of the most intriguing information to ourselves because I don't know why sometimes we feel super inferior. And so that's crazy to me how you can just feel so inferior and you think of another person as competition. But that just goes to show you, shout out to my mom. Her name holds weight in the South Fulton community. In Fairburn, Georgia, outside of Atlanta. But yeah, back to this intro. I started this podcast to really just talk about some of the most intriguing, thought-provoking, and challenging realities that come along with being an entrepreneur. And it's really just to help educate, inspire, and uplift everybody who's listening to really launch, grow, and become successful business owners, because that's the goal at the end of the day, having another stream of income. And so as you can see, like in the COVID-19 times that we're in right now, you cannot always rely on company XYZ to pay you on the 1st and the 15th or the 31st, whenever they pay you, because it ain't guaranteed. Your money is only guaranteed if you're in the military. And honestly, even then, finance may mess up your pay and you may not get paid. But yeah, so back to this podcast. We're going to do this podcast every week. It's something new for me. And so my boyfriend, he actually gave me the idea because he's like, oh, you should do a YouTube channel. He's like, you post a lot of good stuff on your Instagram story, but it'd be too much sometimes. And it really do be a lot because sometimes I'd be like, bruh, I just wrote that whole book. But I don't like seeing myself on camera. I don't know. It's weird. And so I was like, YouTube, nah. But the podcast, okay. But, eventually I may venture out into a YouTube channel. But right now, we're going to take this one step at a time and slowly get out of that comfort zone. And so this is a part of that step. So yeah, so every week we're going to talk about some different topics. I have like 3 pages of content that I want to talk about. And so just stay with me, some good stuff. Just my personal opinion about some things. You can like it, dislike it. Let me know. Hit me up in the comments or in a DM on Instagram and let me know what you think. Or if you even have any topics that you want to hear me talk about or what's on my mind, just let me know. So why I started the brand? I started the brand in 2018. Yeah, I think I released the shirts on January 24th, my birthday, back in 2018. And originally I just started the brand because I was like, I've always been a person who has had an entrepreneur spirit and who've always wanted to own their own business, because eventually I want to venture out into the youth nonprofit world. So that's later on down the line, once I get my funds really, really right, so I can really give back to the community and help our young people out and really show them the pathway through life. But that's another topic. But yeah, so I started the brand because I was like, I want to tap into this whole entrepreneurship thing. And at the time, I was following a lot of the clothing brands and a lot of their owners. And so I was like, oh, okay, I like the lifestyle they live in. They waking up whenever, getting some shirts folded, bop, 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 and they making money. And they sending, a bunch of orders out daily. And so back then, it was like, oh, I'm just trying to make some money. But then eventually, as you get down the line, you start to realize, okay, my brand has to have some substance, or my business has to have some substance beyond just selling a product. Because there's a quote that said, a business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. And so that was very true. And so I think for me, I had to revamp it. So I was able to achieve a lot, sell a lot of shirts, sell a lot of products, and really get out there. I think within a year, I had maybe $400 within that year. So it was progressing pretty fast. But just because the shirt itself, young entrepreneurs, it's about sharing your story. So when you wear that shirt, people are going to ask you automatically, oh, what business do you own, or what you trying to do? So right there, that's self-promotion. And at first, I just want to do a clothing brand because I like the lifestyle. And then I realized, okay, my brand has to have some substance. I've always been the type of person who has had who is attracted to something having value or giving back to the community, because I was just raised on those foundations of giving back. And so I was like, so I had to actually stop the brand for a while, and I deleted the Instagram. I was just done. So I needed some time to figure out what I wanted the brand to truly be about, and make sure I was strong in those values. And sometimes you got to make sure that when you start your business, that your mind doesn't change about what you want to accomplish. Just the other day, I saw on Instagram how 6ix9ine, he wanted to donate $200,000 to this nonprofit organization, or this organization. I'm not sure if they're a nonprofit, but he wanted to donate $200,000 to them, because they're an organization that feeds the hungry. And so, during this time of COVID-19, people need food, especially kids. But they actually declined the offer, and so I saw a lot of people going at them. But I understood the company's policy on what they stood by, because they understood who they were, and if someone didn't match their values of what they wanted to show those kids, I can understand that you don't have to take money from people just because they give it to you. And so let me see if I can find what the business actually said, because I was like, that right there is a business to work for, a company to work for, who has strong values, who stands on something. Because a lot of brands out here that I've seen, clothing brands in particular, that are a little faulty when it comes to what they're truly about. But we're going to talk about that in another podcast, because it's some interesting stuff out there. Ain't gonna call no names of brands, but yeah. So yeah, the company said, and I quote, "As a child-focused campaign, it is our policy to decline funding from donors whose activities do not align with our mission and values." And so as an entrepreneur, you got to know why you're doing what you do. One of my favorite speakers, authors, Simon Sinek, he said, "The goal is not to do business with everyone. The goal is to do business with people who believe in what you believe in." And that's so very true for entrepreneurship. So make sure you write that down, put that in your notebook, because you got to remember what you believe in and why you do what you do in order to get to that next step, and never fold or sell yourself out for some dollars. And so, yeah, there's a lot of companies out there that say, oh, they're all for their employees, blah, blah, blah. We truly value our employees. They're our number one, whatever it is. But as you can see, during this COVID-19 times, a lot of people, these companies not showing love. They got a lot of money in the bank, but they're not showing love to the people who have broken their backs for them day in and day out. And so that alone should make you want to own your own business and at least have another stream of income. That's why I started the brand. But now, like I said, I got a whole new revamp coming. So make sure you stay tuned. So I think the first step in entrepreneurship is honestly setting yourself up financially for success. And so what I mean by that is most of us have 9-to-5 jobs. Half of us probably hate the job, or I wouldn't say hate, but really, really dislike what we're doing. But right now, I know how it is to hate your job. to just go in a work in a place that really stressed you out mentally, physically, emotionally, all that stuff. But right now, especially if you're in a good high-paying job, right now is the time to save your money. So stop splurging, buying stuff you don't need, and save your money. So that way, when the time comes for you to either one, do what you really want to do and take a huge pay cut, but you'll be a lot happier, or two, to either step out and own your own business. So make sure you have enough money saved up. And I'm not talking about $5,000. I mean, you need some real good money saved up. So say for example, for a year, your bills are paid. You have enough money saved up for a year. That way you can focus solely on your business at the time. And that's what it's about. And I think sometimes as entrepreneurs, we are very prideful. And so we don't always want to do the jobs that don't look as glamorous, as wearing our suit and tie, or our dresses and heels. And so, like, for example, would you ever go work at a Chick-fil-A to learn their business, their business layout, how they hire people, their customer service? Would you go work at a Chick-fil-A? Most people probably would be like, no, I'm not going to work for no Chick-fil-A to be a cashier. Regardless of you knowing their track record with their business and how everyone loves Chick-fil-A, it's just a brand it's just overall good brand. Like when I go there, I feel like I know them. It's just a happy feeling. I don't even check my order when I pull off in the driveway because I know it's right. And so I think as entrepreneurs, we have to put ourselves or humble ourselves and really go back down, because success is, when you look at these people who are successful, these billionaires, all they did was duplicated what the person before them did. It's not rocket science to own a business or to make money. You just have to have consistency, and I think that's the key with entrepreneurship. And so you really have to make sure you set that time apart to know what I want, why I want it, and the step I need to take next to do it. You don't need to have steps 1 through 45 of how I'm gonna start a business. You just need to get started, And so that's the problem a lot of times. We plan stuff out, and it's like, bro, you done planned all this stuff out, but you ain't did nothing. And so for me, that's a battle too, because I have like a book of stuff I just have planned. Oh, and this month I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have this saved, or I'm gonna do this XYZ. And it's like, just get started, just do it. And so that's why I'm super thankful for this podcast idea. So I got this mic. It's truly a family affair, this podcast, because my boyfriend got me the mic and the headphones, so I'm talking to you guys right now through that. My sister did the intro and outro music, and we even got my mom to even say a few words. So when you tune into the podcast and you started, the 0 second mark, you'll hear her say, "You are now tuned in to a Young Entrepreneurs podcast." And so we even got my mom on there. And so it's really about being around like-minded people who understand your mindset and who show support. Support isn't always giving money to your business. It can be a like, a retweet, a share on the Instagram or Twitter, whatever it is, Facebook, whatever it is. So it's just about showing love. And I think, that's the problem with, some of our black people. Because I was on Facebook one time, and this girl was like, "We need to support our black businesses. Send me some free stuff." And I'm like, bruh, what you mean free stuff? You don't go to Forever 21 asking them for no free products to put on your Instagram. And look, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have people hitting you up all the time. Like, "Oh, if you send me a free shirt, I can put you on my Instagram." And this was back before when I had a public Instagram page. And people, I'm like, bro, you only have like 300 followers. Like, I have more followers than you. So why would I send you a free shirt for your followers where you only getting 15 likes for 300 followers, And so you're going to have people always coming up to you wanting to, "Hey, I put you on my video, I'll do this, blah, blah, blah. Just send me some free merch, send me some free, whatever it is that you are, whatever service that you're providing, people are going to want it for free." And so you just got to mentally prepare for that, because that stuff will, piss you off. You will be like, "Bro, really?" Because, but yeah, it's just crazy. Speaking of that, I used to work at this place called Just Turkey, and it was a black-owned business back in Fairburn, up in the Publix Plaza area. And so it was a black-owned business, so turkey products. It was great stuff. I loved that. I was a cashier there. So it was really just a healthy alternative to a better lifestyle, better food choices than what we normally have in our community, besides chicken, pork, beef, McDonald's, all that all that crazy stuff. And so people would come in there sometimes and they would complain about the most craziest things. It could be stuff that like, oh, you didn't give me enough ketchup packets, or it can be something so small like, oh, my fries are a little bit too crunchy. It can be anything. And people would complain about it, and they would raise so much sand inside the store about why they need a refund or why they need free food. But if you walked 3 doors down to Ruchita, which is a wing spot in the Publix Plaza, Ruchita would have their orders wrong. It'd be small, tiny wings, and people would, they'd be like, oh, okay, you don't have my order ready yet? It's okay, I'll wait. Can I just get a soda, or can I get this? I'm cool. I'm good. It's okay. But down the street, you are raising sand about your order, your order being wrong or something so small. And so sometimes in the Black community, it's crazy how we treat one another. And I think as entrepreneurs, especially as an entrepreneur in general, but a Black entrepreneur, you're going to have people that always want something. And it is just crazy. It irritates me just thinking about it, of how many people hit me up like, hey, can I get this shirt for free? And it's like, bruh, the shirt is $20. Like, come on. And so speaking of shirts, let me see. Yeah, so the shirts, we do have shirts that will be going on sale pretty soon. Let's say in a month or so. Just check back with us and keep it out on Instagram and our website for more details. But yeah, we're going to have shirts. The shirts are going to be at a really good price this time. And I plan on trying to keep it at this price point, which is $14.99 a shirt, which is really good, because if you've bought stuff in the past, you know that the quality of the products that I produce are very, very good. Like the shirt I have from 2018 is still in good shape. And so it's really good quality stuff. It ain't no Gildan shirts, because some of these brands out here be using Gildan, but it's really a good quality shirts at a very good price. And we're going to also have a Kidpreneur shirt, which is going to be a little bit more expensive, because the whole goal of Kidpreneurs is to get young kids to get in that mindset of owning your own business and having other streams of income, and not solely relying on another company to give you a check on the 1st and 15th. And so in school, they don't teach us about entrepreneurship, savings, investing, any of that stuff. And so I think it's very important for the brand to reach out to our young kids, bring them up, and show them the way. Because honestly, we're all learning as this entrepreneurship thing is taking off. I think within the last few years, entrepreneurship has really become a super big thing in the world, and I think that's important. And so, like I said, the Kidpreneur shirts will be a little bit more expensive, because we'll have a grant where kids can apply online and submit their video and PowerPoint, like a pitch deck of their business, like a business plan almost. And so we want to get kids in that mind frame of doing those things now when they're young, so when they're our age, 25, 27, 30, they're light years ahead of us. And so that's what it's all about. So yeah, so that's what I have going for the Kidpreneur shirts and just the Youngpreneur shirts. And I just gotta say thank you to everyone who has supported me in the past, family, friends, people that I don't even know, friends of friends. If you supported me, bought something, liked something, shared it, I really appreciate you, because I couldn't do this without you guys. And you guys have really given me the fuel to keep going, even when the times get rough and it's like, why am I doing this? But now I got a fresh mindset, and I think mindset is everything in entrepreneurship. Once you truly get your mind right, you can accomplish anything. And so yeah, so that's all I got for y'all this week. I want to keep it short, these podcasts short. I think right now I'm at like 20 minutes. And so I want to keep it within that 15-20 minute time frame, because I know me personally, when I'm listening to like a 30-minute podcast, I'm checked out after a while. And so yeah, so I'm gonna keep these things short. Make sure you come back every week. We have more topics, like I said. I got 4 pages of content. And so if you have any ideas or anything you want me to talk about or want to hear from my perspective, let me know. I probably already have it on my list to talk about next. So yeah, so make sure you follow us on Instagram at Young Entrepreneurs Brand, online, tyebrand.com. Check us out on the Apple Podcast, And so that's all I got for y'all. And I'm going to end with a quote. I want to do a weekly quote. And so this week the quote is, remember, people who don't fear things do things, but only do stuff you believe in. I'll say it one more time. Remember, people who don't fear things do things, but only do stuff you believe in. And so that's all I got for y'all this week. Tuning into the first episode. I hope I'm not talking too fast for y'all. And so I really appreciate you for tuning in. Episode number 2 coming next week. And remember, it's all about consistency, getting your mindset right, and getting financially fit, financially stable, so you can take that risk and really doing what you love or what you want to do. And you're not worried about you getting paid on the 1st and 15th, because you know at the end of the day, for at least a year, you got money to pay your bills and your rent with no problem. And so that's all I got for y'all. Thank you for tuning in. More stuff coming soon. This is just the beginning. This is just the surface of it. And so I appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for more. See y'all next week.